You don't wanna talk right now. Got me messed up like wow. All I wanna know is how. They can say I lost my love, but I was still holding on.
Hey.
What was left
Hey,
of us?
hey, hey, hey.
And I'm not feeling the energy. Picking up what it could be.
Hey,
I don't wanna end this
hey,
season.
hey,
You
hey,
are tears
hey,
that don't
hey.
behind you.
Our 50th episode. Let's go.
50.
It's number 50.
That's right.
Rest in peace to the good brother Neighborhood Nip. The
Nip.
marathon continues. Hey.
Hey.
The marathon continues over here with the podcast,
Ain't
baby.
stopping.
We're going to have some more conversation. We're going to have a great night
Longevity.
tonight. Yeah. It hurts, but you got to keep going. That's what we're
keep
doing
pushing.
tonight.
Gotta
It hurts,
keep
but you got to
climbing.
keep going.
You
Yeah,
gotta
that's
keep
what we're doing
holding
tonight.
on.
That's the vibe tonight. It
You gotta
hurts,
keep
but
living.
you got to keep going.
And continuing the legacy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Continuing, so.
Yeah.
Woo, 50.
Yeah.
Big 50.
Yeah, Trey. That's how we feeling tonight.
Oh, so
Those are big numbers
excited.
right there.
Yeah.
So excited. I could just think about when we talked about the podcast initially. It's something that we wanted to do, put it on the vision board, visualize it,
yeah.
had a conversation with it, let it manifest. And then we got in touch with Cruz.
And here we are.
Said, come on in.
And here we are, 50 episodes
50
later.
episodes later.
Once again,
Yes.
rest in peace, sleep in peace, rise into your glory. Excuse me if I continue to reiterate that throughout the course of the night. I'm deeply impacted by the loss of
I
the
think
good
we
brother
all
Nip.
are.
Yeah.
And
We
I'm just
all are.
inspired to continue to be a representation of God's glory. 'Cause
That's
what I
right.
believe the brother was, modern day Jesus in this day and time that we're in now. And there's a lot of kings and queens out here who are
It
doing
is.
great work. And that marathon must continue, man.
With
That
all
work
of
must
us.
continue for the greater good of our people, for humanity at
Yes.
large. So tonight, our 50th episode, we actually going to dedicate this show to Neighborhood Nip, inspiring us to
Yes.
continue to keep the marathon going.
Yo.
Continue to do what it is that God put in you to
That's
do.
right. All the fallen soldiers.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
This show goes out to you
Yeah.
for inspiring the entire community. I mean, people are so
Yes.
affected that
Big time.
I don't even know.
Big time.
I
Such a
didn't have a
loss.
chance to meet him in
Big time.
person, and it's just a blow to our community. But we're going to keep living. We're going to keep running this marathon. It doesn't stop. This is a journey. It's a process.
You know,
And
I'm sorry, wait, go ahead.
no, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say quickly without being insensitive, because I'm not saying this from an insensitive. I'm saying it from a very empathetic, a compassionate place, right? In basketball, they have this, even in sports, rather. It's like, when one man goes down, who's the next man up? And I feel like that's so appropriate with this time, right? So I'm not being insensitive to the unfortunate passing of the good brother, right? But when one man or one woman goes down, there's another, what I would like to believe, another 100,000 who rises up to continue to push, the kingdom of God's vision forward, right? That glory forward for the greater good of those who are being oppressed, who are marginalized, who are being just taken advantage of by, this system, this demonic force, this entity that rather be in relationship with greed and envy and jealousy and hatred rather than being in relationship with God, love, and community. So tonight we're gonna have some conversation tonight about not just us in our 50th episode, but really learning how to live with the hurt and making sure that you continue to keep that vision alive. Continuing to do the work, man. So shout out to all of, like Whit said, the fallen soldiers who have been on the battlefield, who've died on the battlefield for the greater good of humanity,
Yes.
so that people can come alive.
You know what, too? And shout out or dedicate this show to those who, we're going to
What's up, dudes?
Let's just go.
No, go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
I was just thinking about thinking about. It's just so. This show is going to be rich. Let's just go.
Yeah.
Let's just go. So we just want to thank you for tuning in another Thursday. You You have blessed us for,
Yeah.
supporting us with our book, Meeting the Authentic You.
Show it to them.
Conversations with Whitney and Dwayne.
Yeah.
The inspiration for the podcast, inspirational messages to help you meet you. Thank you so much.
There it is.
Thank you so much. It's right here, right here. You can still purchase the book. Barnes & Nobles, Amazon, OutskirtsPress.com, wherever books are sold.
Yeah.
You can do that. So come. Get into the conversation by buying the book. But thank you and shout out to all the supporters. We love you.
Yeah. Tell them about the next book we got.
Next
coming out
book, Don't Drop Out on You.
Yeah.
It'll be here soon.
There it is.
You'll have it by May. It's
Yeah.
going to be in your hands by May. So I'm so excited about this book. And also the title, Don't Drop Out on You. This is such a great book for a time such as this. A lot of us are dropping out on ourselves because of the hurt, the pain.
Yes.
And this journey can be very tedious, right? Tedious. So the thing is, we want to encourage you through this book to don't drop out on you. I can't wait till it comes out. We're definitely gonna let you know where you can purchase it. Actually, it's going to be wherever books are sold. So I'm excited about that. Our second book that we have written together. Dope.
As we said, man,
creation.
So important right now. So important to make sure.
So give us a synopsis of the book. Can we get a synopsis?
A synopsis of the book right now is basically it's a combination, right? It's a bunch. I don't want to use words that may be difficult for people to wrap their mind around. I'll try to simplify this as much as I can. It is a bunch of transformational messages that Whit and I put together that we believe will speak directly to individuals who are in a space and have been there for quite some time, or even just approached there where they just feel like I can't do this no more. I can't do this no more. And I'm not doing this no more. And you're borderline on the verge of crossing over to participating in realms of darkness because the hurt is just too much for you to handle. So we believe, right, that Don't Drop Out on You. Everything that we put inside of this piece right now, especially when we look at what's going on in the world at large, specifically this country, but the world at large, people are really fighting. I mean, I think that this might be the first time that people have had to fight to be positive.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, you have to fight to be positive. Like, because so much stuff is happening directly and indirectly to everyone that we believe that what we was given to put together will definitely speak to something that you're dealing with, past, present, or whatever will come into your life. If all is good right now, when you feel like, well, I don't need nothing like that in my life. And most importantly, it's an intergenerational book. It's a book that your child can read. It's a book that you can read. It's a book that your grandmother, your grandfather can read if they're still here with us. It is an intergenerational piece that you guys can have conversation with for 2 to 3, maybe even 4 generations, if 4 generations are still living.
It's going to hit home for a lot of people.
Yes, it is. Yes,
so
it is.
We're going to definitely let you know what's up with that. It'll be out next month.
Yes, hopefully I answered that question.
I'm excited.
Hopefully I answered that question.
Yeah.
Give us some real quickly what's going on with this Go Get It.
Real quick, Go Get It 4th Annual Empowerment Conference, Women Empowerment Conference. Men, you are invited to November 16th this year, 2019, at the Watson Hotel. Make sure you are there. Make sure that you're in the building.
Yeah.
If you're interested in being a part of this wonderful transformational conference, please contact me so you can be on the stage, so you can be with us in the building and giving your message, serving the people, serving my men and women who are going to be there. So I'm so excited about it. We're going to have more vendors than we had last year, which I'm excited about, and it's going to be a powerful movement. So come join us. Shout out to my partners, Miss Chu, LaShawn. What's up? Thank you for rocking with me with this vision. Yeah. And I'm just excited. Go get it.
Go get it. 2019.
Yes.
2019. We are in the building.
Oh, the theme is breakthrough. Breakthrough. Because we trying to break through. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We are trying to break through. You know,
I'm sure there are a lot of people that can relate to.
Yeah.
So you don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
Breakthrough.
It's happening. It is happening. Let me say this, Whit, because you said this, but I want to make sure that they heard you when you said it. Men, get your tickets.
Yes.
Men, get your tickets to this Go Get It conference, right? It's really been initially, and forgive me if I say this wrong, right? Predominantly for women, right?
No, that's true. That was the vision.
But this year, please, gentlemen, men, fathers, uncles, brothers, sons, right? Make sure you get your tickets to this conference, man,
Yes.
because there is something that men need to hear too about this breakthrough. We lead together. Let me say this, right? Men and women lead alongside one another, right? I know people subscribe to different ideologies and traditions or whatever, or ideals, whatever you want to call it, but we lead collectively. We lead alongside one another. So men, make sure you get your tickets to this conference.
Yes, the
this
power is in
breakthrough.
the number.
Yes.
Transformations in the number.
Yes, please make sure you get.
come out.
Please make sure you get your tickets to this. Go Get It.
Thank
fourth
you.
Fourth annual Breakthrough Go Get It conference.
2019.
Man, that my sis Wit, Miss True, and LaShawn have put together once again for another year.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
This is number 4, right?
Number
Yes,
4, fourth
yes.
annual.
Fourth annual.
Yes.
So excited.
Yes. And on that note, shout out to all my people, my Vibe With Me army, my Vibe With Me crew. Thank you all so much. Funny that you put the shirts up once again. Shout out to my sis Tiffany, who's on her way to. Where's she going?
She going to China.
China.
I texted today and said.
She's in the airport right now with the Vibe With Me T-shirt on.
Oh yeah, I think
that
I saw
inspired me tonight. So thank you so much, Tiff, for showing
Safe
me
travels,
that love.
Tiff.
Supporting the movement, supporting the vision. Thank you so much, my Black Nubian African queen, right? Goddess, right? Who's doing amazing work for you and your people in your community. Yes. Shout out to her. And I feel led to say this real quick, Whit, that I just did a video and I shared it on my page that after watching a lot of the heartfelt expressions from today's homegoing celebration service, he was honored. He was honored today. It's unfortunate how he transitioned, but he was honored today. And what I said in the video was that hopefully that as we all watched, for those who saw it, heard it, maybe seen some posts on Instagram or Facebook, social media, whatever, that if somebody came to your mind, if there was a man or a woman who came to your mind who's still alive, who sacrificed the same way Nip sacrificed, who's doing the best that they can to make a difference where they are, right? Here's the commandments as we go forward. And I say this as a person who gets up and does the best that I can do with this Vibe With Me movement. Support those women and men who are on the front line trying to give something for the greater good of humanity and for their people, right? Support them, pray for them, cover them, right?
Yes.
Protect them, right? Don't kill them. That's what I said. Don't kill them, right? Because that energy has to go out. Just because it's dark for you doesn't mean you got to make it dark for somebody else. Right? So I want to say that tonight. Just because it's dark for you doesn't mean you got to make it dark for somebody else. There can be light. There will be light if you continue to hold on and press your way. So I just wanted to say that real quickly for the Vibe With Me movement right now, man. Everybody who rocks with D Graham and his Vibe With Me movement, support those persons who are actually also doing what you also saw, right, and heard today from this homegoing service. Support those individuals. It doesn't always have to be monetarily. You know what I mean? It doesn't always have to be financial. It could just be keep doing what you're doing. Encourage them.
Sharing the videos, sharing the vision. Just that. It's free.
Support can be free. It doesn't always have to be monetary, right? So please make sure, man, and most importantly, right, because you can feel like, well, I'm not supporting that because I ain't got nothing going on in my life and in my world, so I don't care about none of that, right? Because that's the space that you in. It's dark. But again, just because it's dark for you don't mean you got to make it dark for somebody else.
You know what, too? And if it's dark for you, still shed that light, and then ultimately you will get back what you put out there. You know what I mean? See, like we said, transformation and creation or, healing is in your service, right? So if you're in that dark situation, still try to shed some light, and your world will also turn around in your serving. right?
Yeah. So that's what I wanted to say tonight. Once again, shout out real quickly. I'm sorry, it's fine.
Okay.
You know, we turned up tonight. We got a lot of energy. We got some.
We on number 50.
Yeah, we got some blood. We got left, right? We got some.
Yeah, we fighting what we got left.
There we go. We got some stuff that God has preserved.
Yes.
That will bless. You know what I'm saying? Humanity and the earth, right?
Still here.
Before that time comes for us, but in the meantime, in between time, right? We're going to continue to get what it is that we have.
And get on our prayer call, because we do have Monday morning glory for the month of April.
Yes.
The number has changed. So, my people, make sure you look at the flyer, look at the information on our social media. The number has changed. However, the passcode is still the same. So, Monday morning glory, every single Monday morning for the month of April, we are up 7 o'clock in the morning talking to our people, praying together, seeking God early, declaring favor, declaring newness. We're declaring all types of greatness in our lives. And this is an interactive call. We have been rocking with this Monday morning glory for about 6 years now. This year's 6 years.
Right.
But we did a couple of things differently. 31 days of prayer for January, 28 days of favor, right? And watch it manifest March.
Right.
And now we're back to Monday morning glory. I think God is speaking to us about May. So stay tuned. Stay tuned to that.
There it is.
All right? Monday morning glories, interactive prayer call.
The numbers will be on our pages.
Check it out. New numbers.
What else we got? Tell them what you got going on, Trey.
Trey Panache Collection.
There we go.
Trey Panache Collection is an affordable premium virgin hair line. And it is available in 10 to 28 inches, and it's luxury that you deserve. And it can last you up to a year to 2 years. So
tell them again. Let the people know on my social media page one more time, Trey, what you got going on, please.
The Trey Panache Collection.
There we go.
It's an affordable premium virgin hair.
There we go.
And it is available in 10 to 28 inches. I am actually wearing the body wave, in which I bleached and colored. So it is colorable, it's bleachable, and it's reusable for up to a year. It's luxury that you deserve.
There we go.
Get your hair, ladies. Get your hair. Get your hair.
There we go.
And it's available at TreyPanache.com. TreyPanache.com.
There we go.
Yeah, yes. Get your hair. You know, you got to look right. Summertime's here. It's about to come.
Spring is
here.
Spring
is here. Summertime's about to come. So get your hair. Get your hair. Yeah. So we in our spirit check segment right now.
Let's go.
So let's see where your spirit is. Spiritual temperature.
Let's go. Let's give it to him.
Go ahead. Where your spirit at, Dwayne?
I want to start with treasure.
Okay.
How your spirit, Trey?
My spirit is available, and it's also hungry.
That's good. I like that. Available and hungry.
Yeah.
My spirit is available and hungry. Okay. I like that. Come on, what you got?
I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I'm still in the land of the living. And, you know, oftentimes when we get in our feelings and our emotions, because we are human, and we feel like, why are we here? What's going on? Why I'm taking so many attacks?
Yeah.
You know, I'm just so grateful because I'm still able to breathe and feel the pain or feel the happiness. I still have, you know, breath in my body. So that's just a sign that I'm still here.
Yeah.
So many people are losing their lives, and I just came from a wake this evening. Also, I have my friends who lost her aunt. I have so many people around who are, you know, they're experiencing a moment of grief. So I'm very grateful, and even with this Nipsey situation, but I'm very grateful that I'm still living, and I'm still here. I still got work to do. So I'm grateful, and I just always like, God, I'm so sorry for, you know, being in my feelings at times when I should be thankful about being able to have feelings, you know?
Yeah.
So I'm really grateful for my life and be able to be here.
That's good, Whit.
You know, today.
Yeah, that's good.
And to share this 50th episode with you you guys. So I'm grateful.
That's good, Whit.
I'm grateful.
I want to piggyback on that, right? I want to piggyback on that.
stuff.
Yeah, I have to. I have to piggyback on that, right? And I'm gonna tell you why I want to piggyback on that, because I think that my spirit tonight is the same, right? Grateful, right? Available and hungry, right? And hungry to continue to operate and fulfill purpose, right? Hungry to continue to operate and fulfill purpose. Grateful that I'm still here. Honestly, not only to fulfill purpose, but because I believe that I have some people in my life who I'm extremely grateful for, who, and God forgive me if I say, if this becomes, if this sounds, problematic, right? But grateful because I got some people in my life who I don't believe will be able to handle my transition if it came today. So I'm grateful that I'm still here because some people in my life wouldn't be able to handle that. So I'm grateful for that reason right there. Like, my son needs me in my life, right? The people I love need me in my life, right? Need me in their lives. So I'm extremely grateful for that reason. And to your point about the Nipsey situation, it makes me appreciate everybody that I do have so much more, right? Because that untimely, unfortunate situation for him has created a level of trauma and darkness for his immediate circle of people that for those who, and all of us to some degree, have experienced at one time or another. If you're living, right, if you're of age, right, you have experienced, so you know what that's like. And I'm grateful tonight that my people who, and I mean my people who love me, love
core,
me, right, yes, there it is. We got core and crowd. We talk about that a lot, right? That they still have me here because if it was me and not him today, the people who feel the pain of him will feel the pain of me. Right? So I'm grateful tonight that they don't got to feel that pain. I'm grateful. Never mind what's wrong. Never mind what didn't go the way I wanted it to go. Never mind who walked out of my life. Never mind what I can't do. Never mind the money I don't have. Right? When I narrow it down, right? When I get to the basics, right? When I get to the spiritual basics of what matters and who matters, I'm grateful tonight that the people who I love and that love me don't got to feel the pain of me not being here anymore.
Amen.
So tonight I'm grateful for that.
We grateful up in here.
Yeah, I'm grateful for that tonight. I'm extremely grateful for that tonight.
Yes.
Very grateful tonight.
Yeah.
Very grateful.
Life.
Because we don't have to be here.
No, we don't. And even though for those who believe, we do enter into the next realm, or what I like to say, we go back to the beginning. But everybody's not in that space, and everybody don't subscribe to that, let alone even believe in that.
I don't
so
understand it.
Your presence, or your absence rather, is too much for me to even believe that there is another realm, because you're not here, right? So for those who are not in that space, I get it. But those of us who are to support, right? To support, I love Nipsey Hussle's mother.
Oh,
because the language that she communicates in the passing of her son, she is clearly in a space spiritually that I believe that many of us have to catch up to. She is in a different realm right now. For her to be able to communicate how she has been able to articulate that level of what we think is pain, but what she said was peace. Right. So for me, I'm like, well, what are you doing? What are you doing that got you at that place that you can handle such, what for us, unfortunate circumstance that you are able to articulate it from that particular place? I need to get to where she is. So for me, that's a different kind of space. That's a different kind of faith. That's a different kind of perspective that this woman has. Right. So shout out to her, man.
Yeah,
shout out to
her.
This whole unfortunate but fortunate circumstance is revealing and teaching so much to many of us, man, because her faith is so
it's on
a whole nother level, man. So no disrespect to nobody whose faith is not there, who is really in a space of darkness. But if you want some hope and some inspiration, and you want to see where the light is, if you can't see light on a mother who has to bury a son and sound like that, I don't know if you even want light. I don't know if you want the light. Maybe you want to stay consumed by the dark of your circumstance, because that woman, not to minimize your pain or maximize hers, but she's in a space that she got the right to be dark right now. And for her to dance at a ceremony for her son, who unfortunately got took out by a circumstance that should have never took him out, that's a light, man, and that's a connection that I drive and I strive and I pray to have at some point in time, man, because that right there, man, is powerful. That's powerful, man. So once again, like we said at the beginning of the show, the conversation throughout the course of the show will be in remembrance, out of respect to the good brother Nipsey, man, because it's so powerful, the things that we learning from what took place, unfortunately, with the brother's life and his afterlife and his passing, man, because if you're not looking at you and how you can transform and how you can believe and become better in spite of your circumstance and in spite of what you're going through right now, maybe you don't want light. Maybe you want the dark to consume you. Maybe you want the dark to get the best of you. Maybe you want to go into the dark side and participate into the demonics. And now you signed up for the devil and now you want to live that life. And if that's your choice, that's your choice. You have free will to live your humanity that way. But if that's not what you want to do, you are looking at something, if you choose to give view and perspective or energy or time to that, to learn something from it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. With I don't know what else. I'm fired up, man. I'm telling you.
You sure are.
I'm hungry, man. I'm hungry. I'm telling you, I'm hungry for perspective, for just to be able to continue to transform into a energy, into a light, because that his mother had a light. Oh my God,
she had a glow.
She had a glow. She I don't know if you guys heard what she said, and I really don't care for.
No, I heard what she said when I think the Shade Room put it on.
No, I'm not even talking about that.
I didn't see the funeral yet. When I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna watch it.
No, what I'm talking about is what I heard she said in regards to when she seen him after the murder.
I don't know, but she said the same thing as far as having. I don't know what she said there, but she talked about peace. She's like, don't. I can't say verbatim, but she would. The Shade Room had posted a video.
It was
her
powerful.
talking about.
It was powerful.
Her son.
It was powerful.
Telling us not to cry. You know what I'm saying? Comforting the fans, comforting the people who are going through a hard time, about her son. I think that's just it's a great place I want to get to that place, to be able to comfort somebody in my pain. I guess while I'm in pain, I'm able to comfort somebody else.
She said, I'm this is a paraphrase, right? But based off of what I saw, I want to be imaginative, but realistically imaginative, that when she went to view the body of her son, what she said was he had even more of a glow in his death.
Wow.
Oh, did she?
Well, she didn't say that in the video that's circulating around. This is new, right? She said that he had even more of a glow after. Like, that for me is so super powerful and profound for a mother who's watching her son, man. So this is powerful, man. So hopefully this inspires, this encourages, this most importantly comforts and speaks to whatever you may be dealing with, right? So the show is not to talk about that particular instance, but it's definitely to learn from different points and nuggets that we can try to pull from, again, the unfortunate passing. Transition, that I like to call it, from the good brother, and how it's affecting the people in his immediate circle, and now bringing it now back to us and whatever it is that we're going through. Not that their circumstances is more, again, like I said, to maximize their pain and minimize ours. It's pain is pain. There is no, and it should not be, a measuring rod, so to speak, for, pain. Like when you're in the hospital and the doctor say, well, if you could rate on a scale of 1 to 10, well, this is 10. This hurts, right? This is too much. Well, okay, 2, and you can deal with that. No, pain is pain.
Pain is pain.
And when it hurts, it hurts. And what we want to discuss tonight is, how do we learn how to live with the hurt but still keep the marathon going? Still keep the vision going, right? And this is how we're celebrating our 50th episode on tonight's podcast show. That all of us are dealing with some level of pain, some level of hurt, some level of disappointment, some level of something. And we want to encourage you guys through this conversation tonight to keep that marathon going.
You know what? Shout out to my brother. He said, sacrifice for the common good of people. Maybe Nip was a sacrificial lamb.
I believe that, man. I believe that.
Yeah. Well, we're
gonna get into it.
We'll just talk.
Stay tuned in. Stay
it's 9:02.
Yeah, it's early in the show. We got some time.
But man. Let's go to our good news segment. What's going on segment?
Come on, Trey. Let's go. What you got for us?
Yeah, in this on this day of losing a very powerful brother, a very someone that was very.
Your soundtrack.
There we go.
Hey,
that's I need something.
There go
Get
your
some
sound
spots.
check.
Now,
We gotta
someone
get
that
some
was
spots.
doing something for their community,
There you
giving
go.
back to their community and trying to bring their people up. So,
There
yeah,
we
let's
go.
talk about some good news for a minute.
Hey, give us some good news, Trey. We got some light for y'all tonight. Don't leave. Stay tuned, y'all. Don't leave. Rock with us, vibe with us tonight. Come on, Trey, give us what we got.
Well, first we have Beyonce. Beyonce is doing some big things.
Okay.
She has partnered up with Adidas, and she's, doing a line with Adidas, and it's going to be coming out, and it's a collaboration and partnership of a lifetime. That's what she said. She said this is a partnership of a lifetime, and it's going to be a signature collection with Adidas and also an expansion of her brand, Ivy Park.
Okay.
Dope.
Okay.
Yeah, Ivy Park was, it's an active wear that she had in that she was working with Topshop. So now it's her own brand now. She's no longer with Topshop, and now she's partnering up with Adidas.
That's
Dope.
awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Also, she has a Netflix documentary airing on April 17th.
Mm.
And it is a behind the scenes documentary of Coachella. Do you know she was the first black woman to
Host, highlight.
to headline the festival?
Okay.
Did you guys know that?
No.
Get that money, B.
Yeah, she's doing some big stuff.
They give a lot of
So
back
let's
to the
give her a round
community
of
money
applause.
wise.
Round of applause for Beyonce. Another reason why I would like to give her a round of applause, I don't know if you have this in your notes, but what I also heard was that I think it was Reebok who reached out to her first, and she turned it down because there was nobody of our skin color.
I'm telling you that.
right, who represented us. So she said, "No, I can't do that because the team is not diverse enough for me to go." Basically, this
She
is a
sure
paraphrase. It's not verbatim, but the team is not diversified enough for me to kind of partner with you guys. So I'm going to say no. So she decided to give Adidas this opportunity. So shout out to her for that reason as well.
Yeah, I
For
wasn't really
standing
a
up for what
big
she
fan
believes in,
of B when she first came. I mean, with Destiny Child was all right, but when I wasn't really a big fan. But until they started uncovering who she really is, like to the core, as far as for the black community and black people, and how much money she gives to nonprofits and black organizations, our community, her and Jay-Z, I started loving that movement. I like how she came up, right? Did her thing, got her what's the word I'm looking for? Was able to soar to a point where she's able now. I'm in position now about to pull my people up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
I think it's just so dope. So shout out to B. I love you.
Okay. All right. She loves you, B.
Yes.
If you ever hear this interview, this podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get us on a network.
Yeah, right. Exactly. What's up, Trey?
What
Shout
else
out
you
to
got?
Rock Nation.
Oh yeah, Rock Nation.
Also, we want to give a shout out to Lori Lightfoot.
Okay.
She's the first black woman to become mayor of Chicago.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, she
Round of
made
applause.
yeah.
Round of applause.
Yeah,
Round
so
of applause. Round of applause.
She's breaking some barriers as
She's
well.
definitely breaking some barriers. What do you have anything else with her about her?
She's also openly LGTB
Yes,
woman.
that's right. That's right.
Okay. God bless you, man. Do the work.
That's
Fulfill
right.
the vision.
Stay
man.
the
Get
course.
the work done, man. Get the work done. I believe that. I'm sorry. Before I go, you got something else, Trey? That's
One more thing.
okay. Go ahead.
One
It's your
more
segment.
thing.
Go ahead.
2-year-old Cillian Jackson could not walk on his own due to a genetic condition. And so this high school robotics team from Farmington High School in Farmington, Connecticut, built him a customized toy car.
Dope.
Wow.
Give
So
it
do
back.
you see these
Customized toy.
innovative young people?
And they're
Yeah.
drinking some different type of water.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
You know?
super dope. That
And
makes
I
me feel
love bringing
good.
the news about these young people because they are our future.
That makes
You
me
know
feel
what I mean?
very good.
They are definitely breaking some barriers.
That
And
makes me feel very good, man. That makes me feel very good. And personally, if I could just be transparent real quick, lately I've been having a lot of conversations with my son, right? My son loves playing PS4 and playing Fortnite. And he's always saying, Dad, he's asking me and his mom, can we give him money to, purchase skins? Because The person who came up with Fortnite is a genius because you got to spend money to continue to play the game. So that was genius on their part, right? So now I'm telling my son that we want to work on him having a mindset of being a creator, an innovator, right? And not just a consumer, right? So I'm telling him that, you know, at some point I want you to start really wrapping your mind around creating your own video game so people are playing your video game and then you're not just constantly playing someone else's game and bringing somebody else's money.
That's
right?
dope. Planting seeds. That's what
Yes,
you're
I
supposed
think
to do.
that's so. We're listening
Smart.
to this good news segment, right, of this 2-year-old and that community of young kids who actually decided to put their minds and their parents get involved in that situation to create what they created for, you know, their peer, so to speak, right? I'm putting that in my 9-year-old mind. Yes, I am putting that
That's
in
so
his
we
mind.
got to
Absolutely.
plant our seeds. We
Yeah.
got to plant seeds into
Yeah,
our
I think
kids.
that's
They're
very
the
important.
next.
I think it's very important.
They next.
It's very, very important.
They next in line.
Where we don't have to always be the consumer. We can be the creator. We
That's
can be
right.
the innovator.
We need to be the creator and
We
the
can create the
innovator.
content. We can own the content. Once again, shout out to Nippsey Hussle. Right?
Yeah.
We can be owners of what it is that
Our
you know
own
we
master.
create. So why not have more conversations with our children about these things? Have conversations with our nieces, our nephews, our godchildren. Create that, own that, right? License that, right? LLC, that's yours. And that's how we try to kind of leverage this unfortunate narrative that's been going on here in this country, where we don't always have to be the persons who are going to work. We can be the persons who can employ people and put people to work, not for the sake of being a boss and brag and own about
Right.
this title. No, but we can be, as Whitney and I like to say, servant leaders. We can be servant leaders in our communities, right, for the kingdom of God, because you got to pick which kingdom
You know what?
you want to serve from.
I'm tired of pushing other people's visions. You know what I'm saying? As an entrepreneur, I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur because I said, if I can invest all this time in my 9 to 5, I need to invest all that time into the vision that God has given me.
Facts.
So, you know, you out there sweating blood and tears, shedding, you know, fulfilling somebody else's vision. Nah, we have to teach our kids that whatever vision that God deposited into them, they need to pursue and invest in that vision. You know,
And I do believe,
So
real
let's
quickly,
plant
that
seeds.
I do believe that some people are supposed to. 'cause
Yeah,
I'm
I
one of
believe
those
that
persons-
too.
Not taking anything away from what you just said, because I'm in agreement with that, right? But there are some people who are supposed to support visions, and they are individuals who actually become sort of quote unquote, you know, employees, right, of visions, right? But
Right.
when you're not feeling
fulfilled.
fulfilled
yeah.
Right.
and feeling like you're operating in purpose in supporting the vision of someone who doesn't have the vision that you have, then it's time for you to probably reevaluate and reassess, you know, whether or not you've been spending time in your connection spiritually so you can start to tap into what it is that God placed inside of you, because there's a vision there for you as well.
You know what? When you're feeling empty, when you could be at a 9 to 5 feeling, I'm glad you said that. Everybody has a purpose, right? And the purpose might be to be the employee to fulfill that vision, to
Right.
help the vision,
Yeah, it's nothing
to
wrong
help
with
the
that.
vision go to the next level with your talents and gifts. But if you're not being fulfilled, if you're feeling empty, if you're feeling stressed out, crying every single day, and you know that
Yeah.
there's more to this.
Yeah, you
I'm
dread-
supposed to be doing more.
You dreading going to work.
Right. I'm not supposed to be here. Then you know there's something bigger.
greater.
Yeah.
And you need to go ahead and reassess.
Yeah, and you don't have
And
to be
talk to
defensive.
God about it.
You don't have to be defensive when these conversations like this are happening, or have an attitude, because there is nothing else. That's all you are able to see, right? I actually appreciated Snoop Dogg today, right? He said something at the service today. He talked about how Nip constantly had anywhere between 5 to 6 conversations with him about this vision that Nip had for him for creating Doggy Land, right? So he laughed initially at, you know, the vision that Nip was, you know, suggesting to him. Nip had a vision for him, and he admitted, he said, yo, you know what? He had a vision for myself that I didn't even have for myself.
Wow.
And he created the marathon, right? The victory lap. He created his own but, you know, lack of better words, because Snoop didn't pick up on what he was trying to show him. So sometimes somebody will have more of a vision for you. They see something on you than you see for yourself because you're so used to whatever it is you're used to. Even if you already are entrepreneur, you're already a quote unquote boss or employee or unemployed, or you just don't know what you're supposed to be doing. When people come into your life and trying to offer you something and show you something beyond what you may be doing already, maybe you need to give it a shot. Maybe you need to give it a chance. Maybe you need to give them, give them your ear. So I appreciated his story.
Thank God for those people. Yeah. I love those people that are able to see something I can't see. You know what I'm saying? I think they're divine. I think they God sent divine. See something I can't see in order for me to reassess or, visualize something bigger. Yeah. I love it. You know, there's always somebody that's going to see something bigger than what you see or see. You always have, what? I can see you doing this. I can see you doing that. Okay. You need that push. So hopefully we're in a place spiritually that we are able to receive those visions, and so they can manifest. So,
no, I was gonna say, with that said, right, learning how to live with the hurt and still keeping the marathon going, right? That when you are hurting, you're overwhelmed, right? You're feeling broken, you're feeling lost, you're dwelling in darkness, right? What I believe, right, and whether you agree with this or not, whether you want to admit this, that's the more appropriate word, whether you want to admit this or not, I have come to the realization that God, whether you want to call him God or the universe, whatever you want to call it, right? He always sends someone into your life to offer you, whether you want to call it a vision, a perspective, an idea, some form of support, something to help you manage the hurt differently so that way you can keep the marathon that you're in going forward. Now, if you refuse to listen because this person don't look the way you want them to look, they don't sound how you want them to sound, they don't say it the way you want them to say it, they don't got enough money for you to take them serious, whatever your reasons are for you being dismissive, spiritually dismissive to not listen to this person, then that becomes the reason why you remain in the hurt and you don't get an opportunity to keep that marathon going. Because we all have something inside of us. We all have a vision or a business or something that can make humanity just a little bit better, or most importantly, break generational poverty, break generational curses. But we have to be willing to take these suggestions, these spiritual suggestions, and really run with them and not allow the hurt to consume us to the degree that we're not listening to people who God is sending into our lives to help us transition out of the periods of darkness that consume all of us. They do a number on us. They really do. They get the best of us when that stuff happens, because many of us have been through some very, very traumatic, unfortunate, dark, depressing experiences. So I'm not being insensitive to those moments because I've been through them too. But what I want to encourage you to do tonight, what we want to encourage you to do rather tonight, is don't be dismissive of the people that God sends to try to offer you suggestion and vision to help you manage the hurt and still keep the marathon going.
You know what? You also have to have some level of discernment, okay? Because you're going to have people that want to speak all this stuff into your life. So you just have to be in a place of a good place spiritually and have your right people who are connected to you, so you're able to discern if those visions is something that God has for me and wants me to do, or is it something that somebody else wants me to do, or if it's something that's trying to distract me for what I'm really trying to do. Right? So we got to have some type of discernment, because everybody that speaks in our lives, right? Everybody that has something to say ain't always for you. So you have to have that discernment, because the enemy is real, and I'm going to keep saying it. The enemy is real. He'll send those people in your life to distract you and get you off course. It might sound good. It might feel good. He might look good. She might look good. But at the same time is you got to have a level of discernment. That's why you got to be connected spiritually to God and to those people who are connected to God spiritually, because you can't live this life without having a connection with God, man. You're gonna run into some brick walls if you feel as if God is not real, if God is not happening, if he's not around. Like, you're gonna run into some barriers.
Tell him what.
And at one point, if you're not a believer in God, if you're not a believer, you're gonna say a prayer. Everybody gets in those moments where they be like, "Oh God,
get me out
help
of
me, get me out of this. Even if they're not believing at the time, there's some type of desperation of prayer or some type of connection, or you with a spiritual, I don't even know, a being.
Can I say it in the hood term?
Can I say it in the hood terminology?
In the hood vernacular?
Go ahead.
You look yourself in the mirror, up and down. What am I doing?
Yeah, okay, there we go.
That's the prayer. That is the prayer. You look crazy. What am I doing? That is your prayer.
That's good.
You may not think that's your prayer, that's your cry out to God.
That's your cry out.
What am I doing? I look crazy right now, because you know you're off. You know you're not your normal self. You're not even feeling you right now.
You don't even know who you are right now.
In that moment, that is your prayer to God.
I like
so
that.
You may not be the person, religious or spiritual enough to know that this is a spiritual divine, encounter with God, where you communicating with God, and that's what you think, because a lot of people don't really know how to pray.
No.
They say, I don't know how to pray. I never prayed before. But when you say, what am I doing? I look crazy. That's your prayer.
Yeah.
That's your moment where you come to yourself, when you realize, I'm looking crazy out here right now.
Right.
That is you now having a conversation with God. So to your point about having discernment, right? Now, a lot of people may not be familiar with that term, but discernment basically is having an understanding, right? Of knowing who to listen to and who not to listen to. And how you measure that. How do you measure discernment? You measure discernment because something is buried underneath all of the shame, the pain, the heartache, the betrayal, the trauma. Something is buried underneath that stuff. And when you hear something that connects with what's buried, that's the direction you need to go in. When you hear something that leads you into more chaos, drama, and all that insanity, that's what you don't need to listen to, because we've been through enough of it to know, that ain't where I need to go. I've been through that already. But when somebody's calling me higher, somebody's challenging me to make me feel a little bit uncomfortable, sometimes we say no to that because we don't want to put the additional work in that comes along with putting in that work. But that's the direction you need to go.
Wait, and also I agree with everything you're saying, but buried deep down inside, whatever the case is, if a person, or speaking in your life, if you're in a situation where it's trying to bring you back, right? Or if you're trying to, if you don't want to feel like that hurt and pain anymore, that's your discernment. Oh wait, I don't want to feel like this, or I'm not trying to go back there, or this looks like something I got out of, or I was delivered from, or I don't want to be here. So I know that this is the connection or the person, or that's discernment. When you feel like, when this is not the place that you're supposed to be.
Oh God! Thank you. This is so good. Oh my God! This is so good. So I was gonna say real quick to what you just said, right? You just pulled this out of me, right? If it scares you, that's probably the way you need to go. If you get defensive, it's trying to take you back to where you don't want to go to.
I like that.
Thank you. You pulled that out of me.
No, because I was about to say, no, what do you mean if it scares you? But then you put the defensive thing in there.
No, because that's how you gauge. That's how you gauge what's coming to you.
Which way you should go.
Yes, what's coming to you and which way you should go.
Like
because sometimes when you in that uncomfortable, dark space, right, you're tired, you're overwhelmed. He will send somebody because you're required now to put in more work. But you too tired and you feel like I can't do no more. So that's the part that makes you feel uncomfortable and scared, because you got to do more, because you want more, like reassurance, you want comfort, you don't want to tap into trust, because now you got to come out of the familiar of the darkness. You got to tap into the unfamiliar, into the uncertainty. So when you feel scared, that's the direction you need to go in. But when you feel like you got to be on edge and defensive because somebody trying to manipulate you and trick you to come back into a space that you done already been delivered from, you done already been traumatized, you done already been used and manipulated. That's not where I need to go.
That's that discernment. So you'll be able to gauge that.
I'm not crying over that no more.
Nope.
I cried too many years.
I've been
years
through too
and tears.
much.
There we go.
I've been through too much to go back there, and I'm fighting to get over here. So I'm not going to allow you or anything to bring me back to a place where I already know I came out of. Because that's the trick of the enemy. That's why I love this conversation of us talking about this discernment. You know what I mean?
There you go.
And then you'll be able to discern who's the right people.
There you go.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
And here's the money part. not only will you be able to discern the right people, but because you able to discern the right people because you're finally the right person. You're finally the right person, not the perfect person. You still flawed. You still broken. You still scared. You still don't know. You still got faith. You still believe. You still waiting on God. You still need what you need. That doesn't mean you're perfect. That means that you just now have the ability to know who's who and what's what.
And you're not the same person. You're on a different level.
There you go.
Because remember, we're always becoming.
There you
go.
We're
always becoming.
You're operating on a different frequency.
You probably don't even recognize you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're on a different level. Trey, you want to say anything? We just been going back and
you know how we get
the way it's been taking it.
You guys are dropping so many
seeds
we jumping double dutch.
You're trying to get in. You at the
right. I was like, but also when it's ordered by God, things are, it might feel uncomfortable at the time, but things will start to eventually fall into place.
There you go.
You know, and when it's not of God, then you're gonna hit obstacle after obstacle after obstacle.
There you go.
And to me, that's I when I'm trying different things and stepping out on faith, that's when my discernment kicks in. When things are, if I'm hitting block after block, hitting a wall,
there you go.
It's not of God.
Yo, if you stay the course, right? You stay the course running this marathon, right? If you stay the course, you're going to get to different levels and you're going to be able to understand the discernment and how to gauge it. You just got to stay the course because those obstacles, they're going to come. Those haters are going to come. That's trying to put you back in those places. You're going to get discouraged at times, but you just got to stay the course. If you stay the course, you're going to understand which way to go. You understand what I'm saying? God will expose those people as you're staying the course, and he'll give you the right people to be in your circle and to speak life to those visions. You know what I'm saying? Everybody just stay the course. Hold on. Don't let go.
Yeah, and allow me to say this with, because I love what you said, right?
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Ho.
Hey, H to the
go ahead.
So what I will say is, when you stay the course, right, you will go from fighting the healing process to wanting to be healed.
Embracing. Yes.
I think that's important to understand. You will go from fighting the healing process, because initially we fight that process.
Because it doesn't feel good.
At all,
it don't.
At all. It and I've never had surgery, right? But it's and so, well, how could you speak to it if you never had it, right? Because I know people who have, right? And I've communicated and counseled people who have been through that process, right? So you're fearful, apprehensive, right? With the initial, the early process of surgery. But then you eventually commit yourself to that process. And then once you go through and you make it through that process, now you're in the recovery room. And now you go through the healing. Now you want to exhaust as much energy as you got left possible to heal so you can recover and be restored. But initially, you fought that process of surgery. So most of us, we fight the process of being healed because most of us find ourselves defending what we've been complaining about. We find ourselves complaining about our brokenness. We find ourselves complaining about, people who we know we need to leave alone, right? I mean, we find out, we defend what we complain about.
Wait, you know what? When you said about surgery, real quick, the thing is, because we fighting the surgery thing, but I think people, just think about the things that could happen, the detrimental things that can happen, the bad consequences that can happen going into surgery. That's why a lot of people they are apprehensive about going into surgery, because we got the anesthesia. What if I don't wake up? You know what I'm saying? What if I'm not healed?
That's good. That's good.
What if I come out worse than I came in? That's what I'm saying? So they fight it because they're already thinking about the negative or the worst. You know what I'm saying? That's why they don't want to go into surgery. And just like with the healing process, we're already thinking about, or maybe like, oh my goodness, what is it going to look like? Am I going to lose some friends? Am I going to, lose who I knew, who I thought I was? You know what I'm saying? So we think about the negative outcomes instead of thinking about what the blessings that will come out of it. You know what I'm saying? The new body, the new love after healing, the new me, the new becoming. So let's focus and lean on our different perspectives about the positive that can come out of it.
I feel like an old pastor who's been a pastor for about like 50, 60 years right now, right? And I'm gonna tell you why I feel like that right now, right? Because as you was talking just now, I felt like saying, but there is a doctor.
Right.
But all jokes aside, right? There is a doctor, right?
is.
There is a doctor, right? God, I believe, is a doctor, right? God is a
he is.
healer,
He's
right?
a healer.
I just felt like that, right, for a second, right? God is a doctor, right? God is a healer, man. And you got to understand that when it's time for surgery, when it's time to be healed, we have to learn how to trust that we are in the care of the doctor,
Right.
the greatest doctor of them all, right? That when I was experiencing, the brokenness and the hurt, right, of his testimony time before we wrap this thing up, right?
I got something to say too, real quick.
I'm not wrapping up, we can go
Okay.
with it, right? But right as I was hurting, right, of losing my dad, right, I had no idea that recovery would look like this. I had no idea that recovery would look like this. No idea. Because I was so apprehensive with letting go of the anger that I had towards how things played out initially for me in the initial part of surgery, right? And the things that caused surgery to take place. I had no idea that recovery would look like this. So when I say humorously, right, but spiritually, right, that God is a doctor.
He is.
That God is a doctor, man. And here's the money part for the people who will watch this later on, or hopefully check this out at some point. I didn't go into surgery trusting. I did not go in trusting. I went in kicking, screaming, fighting, struggling, not even thinking that my life will be the way that it is at this particular point right now. And that's real. I did not go in with my hands up saying I surrender. I went in saying, man, I don't know what you're doing. I'm not doing this. And they still performed surgery. And just so happened, I wasn't under anesthesia. I wasn't unconscious. I wasn't knocked up. They didn't sedate me. I was wide awake. I was kicking this. I felt every single ounce and inch of pain that you can imagine from the time my father died up until this point now. But God is a doctor.
Let me just insert. The thing is, in the recovery process, you go back to see the doctor for checkups, right? And in the recovery process of whatever things you have been through, if it's transition of a loved one, hurt, pain, heartache, whatever it is, in that recovery process, you still got to return to God, right? You still got to go back. You still got to make sure you continuously keep that relationship. Just like if you go into surgery with your doctor, you're not going to say, doc, okay, that's it. I'm done. In the recovery process, you go for checkups, right? Weekly checkups, monthly checkups. So, and you still have the relationship with your surgeon. Just like heartache, trauma, transition of a loved one, in that recovery process, you still got to continue to have that relationship with God every single day, still seeking him, still praying, still having that connection so you can continue the recovery process. And we're always in the recovery process of becoming our better selves, whether it's spiritually, physically, intellectually, emotionally, all that. So don't stop the connection.
And if you don't know what's hurting you, because all you know that you're hurting is an indication that you do not have a primary care physician. The doctor's going to tell you what's wrong. So if you don't know what's wrong, it's because you ain't been going to the doctor. And maybe right now, in order for you to continue the marathon that God trusted you to carry out, but you can't carry it out right now, you feel like you can't go forward because you sitting in a hurt that is too overwhelming for you, it's probably because you've been talking more about the hurt than going to the primary care physician. It's time to go to the doctor.
Time to go to the doctor.
It's time to go to the doctor. On that note, we're going to wrap it up.
We're going to do a part 2. We always doing a part 2.
Right.
But 50th episode, thank you for rocking with us.
Yes.
Whitney, Dwayne, and Treasure.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And we out.
Peace out.
Dedicated to all our fallen soldiers.
Yes, the
that
marathon
gave their life.
continues, baby.
Yes,
keep the
get their life for the
marathon
cause.
going, man. Shout out to the good brother, man. Rest in peace.
Rest
to the
in
good
peace.
brother Nippsey Hussle, man.
Yeah.
The marathon continues.
Power.
Conversation with Whitney, Dwayne, and Trey. See y'all next week.
We out.
We in the building.